Hi, welcome in. 41. Why are there four Gospels? The Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, are all about the life of Jesus on earth. They tell about the many things Jesus said and did. So why four Gospels? They were written by different people for different people. Although they are similar in some ways, there are some important differences. Matthew, Mark, and Luke are called the Synoptic Gospels because they are like a short story of Jesus' life on earth. John's Gospel is different because it tells us more about what Jesus said, especially to his disciples, than about the things he did. Matthew, a disciple of Jesus, wrote an account of Jesus to the Jewish people. Being a Jew himself, he understood the way they thought and what they believed. The Jews were hoping that God would send them a king to free their nation from the Romans. So Matthew shows them that Jesus is the promised king and explains how Jesus made many Old Testament prophecies come true. Mark wrote to the believers in Rome. It was the first gospel to be written, and it is also the shortest. This gospel shows that Jesus came to earth as a humble servant, willing to help people and give his life to save them. Luke, who was not a Jew, wrote this gospel to those who didn't understand the Jewish faith and customs. He wrote down many of the parables that Jesus told, and he also helps us to see that Jesus was completely human, yet perfect. Luke, who was a doctor, added a lot of detail from his study of how things happened. Luke 1, verses 1 to 4. He later wrote the book of Acts, which is like the second part of the gospel he wrote, Acts 1, verses 1 to 2. John, a disciple and close friend of Jesus, wrote the Gospel of John. He was one of the first disciples and followed Jesus wherever he went. John helps us to understand that we are saved by believing in Jesus, the Son of God. Quiz 41. Do the four Gospels tell of everything Jesus did? John 21, verse 25. And there are your choices.